chances are you've dealt with a prospect completely going MIA after outreaching to your company to learn more information. You see, this deal or this problem of prospects ghosting after requesting information is a major problem. It doesn't just impact you, it impacts companies across the country. It's actually pretty common, and here's why. Your lead response time is too slow. Your lead response time doesn't move at the speed of your prospect's thought processing time. You see, we always been told the first person who responds to a prospect typically wins, right? The early bird gets the worm, whoever arrives first, any one of the sayings that you want to pick that we've heard before. Well, there's some truth in that. You see, after a prospect goes to your company's website or goes to your company's funnel or your social media page and requests information, if 5 minutes pass, the odds of connecting with and qualifying, be clear, the odds of connecting and qualifying with that lead drop 80%. You see, there's studies out there that show businesses who respond to leads within 5 minutes or less are 100% times more likely to connect and convert those opportunities. Here's the scary part. Your lead response time that isn't effective and that is causing you to lose a significant amount of revenue. You're not alone in that space. You see, 55% of companies take longer than 5 days to respond to a new lead, while 12% of the companies just don't respond at all. This problem or this flaw in the system of responding and reaching out to prospects is directly impacting your bottom line. The bottom line for your revenue is determined on how quick your salespeople respond. So as you look at your sales process and your sales system, what is the expectations for the people in your organization to respond? How quick do you want them to respond? How quick do you want them to qualify? If you leave it up to sales personnel are people. People are going to do things that feel comfortable and convenient to them. One salesperson on your team may respond right away. One salesperson on your team may receive a lead and respond after lunch. One salesperson on your team may receive a lead and respond the next business day. You, as the sales leader or the salespreneur who has a sales team, have to set a system in place that everyone must follow. And here's the easiest system to set in place to assist with that process. We've talked about this solution before, and here's another application for it. Automation, automation, automation. Create a system of automation for the leads that are coming into your organization. A lead management system that's automated is going to naturally increase the conversion rate that is taking place within your organization. What does a lead system that's automated look like? It's an automatic response. An automatic response to your prospect comes in the form of a chatbot, an email, a text message, some form of communication to your prospect to let them know you've received the lead. Now, here is where good companies and great companies separate themselves. You see, a good response is just having a response. So a good company is going to have a response. Typically, the response looks something like this. Mr. Prospect, thank you for inquiring about more information. We've received your inquiry. We will respond to you shortly. Very vague, left for interpretation. And the logic behind this is if I don't promise a time and I underdeliver, I can impress them. I can wow my prospect. Yeah, that's true. But it also gives your prospect the opportunity to view your company like every other company, because that automatic response of vagueness, we received your request and we will respond shortly, is something that your prospect's going to allow their imagination to interpret. Are they going to respond to me today? Are they going to respond to me tomorrow? Are they going to respond to me within the week? Think about yourself. How many times have you made a request for information only to get a response a day or two or a week later from a company? I know I have. So, yes, having that automated response is good. Here's where great companies excel in this area. Having an automatic response that outlines and sets the expectations for the remainder of the sales process. You see, if we go to closing, we always talk about a confused customer won't buy. Well, a confused customer isn't going to go along the process in your sales journey. They're not going to continue to the next step if they're confused and they don't know what to expect. So the same automatic response that you send to your company or that you send to your prospect should outline the expectations for them. Dear Mr. Prospect, thank you for submitting your inquiry. You will receive a response from our head of sales at 11 a.m. today. Whatever the situation is, you want to give specific details. Who's going to be calling you, when they will be calling you, and even if you want to take it further, if you like to reach out to this person in advance, please feel free to send them an email at XYZ. And have it as a static email that can get filtered because, I definitely understand the junk emails that come in. But by outlining who you're going to speak to and the time you're going to speak to gives the prospect a little more control of the process. And when a prospect feels like they have a little more control, they're also going to feel more comfortable with you and they're going to feel more confident in making a purchase with your organization. Now, look, just because you give this prospect an automatic response that gives clear directions on what's going to happen next doesn't mean you have the systems in place to do this, right? Not every company has this exact capabilities. Your company may be too large, meaning you have too many leads coming in. I don't know who's going to respond to this. Or you're on the opposite side of the spectrum. Your company may be too small, meaning you don't have a full-time salesperson. Maybe you have a remote sales team. Maybe you have a virtual sales team. Or you maybe have an outsourced sales team. So you don't necessarily know who's going to respond to this lead. When that takes place, you have to continue giving control to your prospect to improve the efficacy of converting a lead to a customer. And the simple twist: give your prospect the opportunity to schedule their own discovery call. If you give your prospect the opportunity to schedule their own discovery call, they now have complete control of their buying process. Now, they've made an inquiry to your opt-in lead page or lead magnet or website or whatever it may be. They've received an automatic response from you outlining the process of what's going to happen, and now they have an opportunity to book their own appointment. By booking their own appointment, they are now completely telling you, I'm committed to this process and I'm typically a qualified prospect. But in order to ensure you qualify that prospect, you have to have a pre-booking questionnaire, right? This is typically going to be the important questions that you would ask during a discovery call. Name, email, all that stuff's the basics, but how long have they been looking at a system like yours? What is their timeline to make a purchase? What is their budget, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Every business is going to be different, but you want to have that pre-screening questionnaire that allows only qualified candidates to book a call. So remember, your lead response time is directly impacting your conversion time. Have an automatic system in place, outline specifically what's going to happen, and last but not least, give your prospect the opportunity to book a call directly on your calendar. That's what I got for you this week. This is the Catapulting Commission Sales Blog. Do me a favor, like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you next week.